up without a fight. What I feel, I know it's right. Let us detonate tonight.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Hollow. Welcome back to the channel. Today what I have you guys is another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Best Class Setup video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the STG44, and for those of you guys who don't know what this weapon is, one, it just came out as a brand new DLC weapon along with the Blunderbuss and the SVO sniper, and two, it is basically a remake from the STG44 assault rifle from Call of Duty World at War, which is probably older than some of you guys out there. So when this weapon came out just yesterday, I believe it came out with 5 or 6 variants. Do not quote me on that. I believe it's the regular, the professional, enlisted, elite, or royalty. I know there's a royalty, but I'm not quite sure if there's an elite just by itself, and then of course the legendary. So it could be 6. Not quite sure. But as you guys can see here, this class setup video is going to revolve itself around the legendary variants, and I know as you guys can see the stats don't look very promising because just it has -1 damage. Whenever we have a variant that has negative damage, it's always a no. It's like, oh no, no damage. Everybody always wants damage. But if you guys have played with this weapon, you would know that the accuracy is not the greatest unless you have a foregrip. If you have a foregrip, the accuracy is very manageable. But you know, this actual variant, the legendary variant, which is also known as the Relic, has +1 accuracy and +1 fire rate, which is really good. And even though you have -1 damage, you have +1 fire rate. So if you think about it, the fire rate kind of makes up for the fact of that negative damage being there. Believe me or not, it does work, and it could be even better than that +1 damage. So I'm saying, in other words, you could probably be better off taking the +1 fire rate than actually taking, you know, the -1 than +1 damage. I'm sorry. So in other words, this variant is better than when you guys see it in the stats. If you guys have it, you will play with it and you will witness it for yourselves. But enough, you know, jibber jabber. We're gonna get into this class setup as far as the attachments and things like that. So here on screen, you guys can take a look at the weapon itself and the attachments that I have for this weapon, and that is obviously the STG44 Relic, which is the legendary variant again. And then the attachments are foregrip, stock, and suppressor. Foregrip, you want to stabilize. Trust me, you don't want to play with this weapon without foregrip. I mean, it's not the worst accuracy out there, like the worst recoil, but it's definitely nowhere near the best or moderate. It's a lot easier. Just make your life easier and put on the foregrip on this weapon. And then the next attachment here, we have stock. Let me give you an explanation. Okay, so me personally, I can play without stock and put on quick draw, so I can be a little bit quicker and have better reaction time. But for those of you guys out there that do not do that well without stock, you can go ahead and put stock and just try your best to aim down sight whenever you guys are aiming corners and things like that. But if you feel that you're comfortable you know, playing without stock, then go ahead and put on the quick draw grip, because it will increase your reaction time and always speed kills. Now the next attachment that we have for this weapon and final attachment is the suppressor. Now, obviously suppressor, you don't want to be giving away your position. There's a lot of great, you know, attachments for this weapon, but me personally, I always like to be sneaky and stealthy. I figure that in this game, especially since of skill-based matchmaking, you know, stealthy always, you know, will keep you alive longer and just won't get you that frustrated. So stock, foregrip, and suppressor for the 3 attachments. Obviously, you're not going to have any secondaries in this class setup, as you guys can see. And then the wild cards are going to have perk 1 greed, perk 3 greed, and of course, you will be having a primary gunfighter. Now, moving down into the perks here, we have lightweight for our first perk, and of course, you know, paired along with low profile. Lightweight, we can move faster, and low profile, invisible to UAVs. Now, guys, take a, you know, most of my class setups are kind of familiar, similar, whatever you guys would say, because this is what works in this game. It really is. Then, you know, sometimes I change some things here and there, and obviously that all depends on what type of weapon. And I'm not saying the weapon as in, you know, Bal 27 or HBR3. I'm talking about like category, SMGs, LMGs, snipers. Depending on the category of the weapon, I'll go ahead and change the perks and things like that. But if not, then, you know, most of the time I will keep more or less the same type of perks and things like that, and just switch up, you know, the actual attachments for the weapon depending on how the weapon stats are and things like that. Now, no perk 2s, and then perk 3s here we have scavenger and blast suppressor. Scavenger because we don't want to run out of bullets. I've actually played my first game with this weapon without scavenger, and I found myself running out of bullets. You know, some of you guys may not be able to stay alive as long as I do, but if you don't, again, put on toughness. I would say the same thing, but if you do, of course, then scavenger. And then blast suppressor, invisible on the minimap when performing exo moves. Never take this perk off, please. It will save your life, and it will save you, oh my god, so much frustration. Please don't play without this perk, man. It really is important. Then exo ability, exo overclock, move faster, get to the enemies faster, you know, evacuate the perimeter of the enemies faster. It is a win-win, and it's probably one of the exo abilities that has the longest battery. So definitely must put on exo overclock. I always put this in all my class setups. If you guys seen them before, you will always see this exo ability on all my class setups. Then UAV, because we do want, you know, to be able to actually see some people once we get X amount of kills. We want to be able to see where some of the enemies are. UAV is mostly used in, you know, probably free-for-all. You know, most of the time in other, you know, game modes, you could probably use your enemies, not your enemies, your teammates' UAVs and things like that. But one thing, if you do run TDM or like team-based, you know, game modes, make sure you guys put extra assist points. That way you guys will get more points, and if you guys have like other streaks, if you guys decide to customize this class setup, you know, it'll allow you to get, for instance, you know, the next kill streak a lot quicker since your teammates are getting kills under your UAV. And of course, if you guys are not playing team-based, you know, game modes, just go ahead and put on the UAV by itself, or you guys can probably put like extra time, or maybe scrambler, or maybe enemy detection or threat detection, whatever it is, and that'll probably work out better for you on free-for-all. So let me know down in the comments if you guys even have this weapon. This weapon it's fun to use, man. I feel like I'm in an older Call of Duty, but in the future. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I really do love this weapon. It's one of my favorite weapons right now. I did just post a live gameplay. It's probably one of the best weapons out right now. Top 4 for sure. It is really good, guys. Let me know if you guys use this class setup. If you guys customize it, you use it the same. If you guys change anything, again, let me know down in the comments. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. If we can surpass 200 likes on this video, I would really appreciate it, guys. Again, thank you all so much for tuning back into the channel. Catch you guys later.
If I can stop this aching, it's better.